Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hari Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vanchakalpatarishcha Kripasindabevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Welcome everybody to the Super Sunday. We're continuing to roll around the world, joining together, all of us, the devotees on this planet, to distribute at least 2 million Bhagavad Gitas together. Today is a special occasion for all of us because we have His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, the indomitable leader of book distribution in the world, by whose example we're able to rise to the occasion again and again and remember Srila Prabhupada's instructions and his example. Dear Maharaj, thank you very, very much for joining us. And we're eagerly waiting, and we have this live streaming on Facebook and many other places so that devotees around the world can listen to your message. And we welcome you to the Super Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Gyan Timiranda Krishnudanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavesta Savidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dati Swapadik Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vaishali Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna. Vaisheshika Prabhu is the best motivator on book distribution all over the world. And Bhima Prabhu, who is here, is also a very powerful preacher and motivating devotees all over the world to do book distribution. I have a very bad throat for the last 2 days, and I was thinking of canceling my participation in today's program. But I'll do it. If you don't mind, it won't be for too long. So book distribution, can you hear me clearly? Did everyone hear
Yes,
me?
Maharaj.
Yes,
We can hear
Maharaj.
you.
We all know the importance of book distribution. We all know that Prabhupada emphasized book distribution as one activity by which he can be easily pleased. In 1935, Bhaktisiddhanta Ji was in Radhakund, and Prabhupada accompanied him on the Rajmandal Parikrama. Bhaktisiddhanta Ji drew a picture of a mridanga and said, if Krishna gives you money and facilities, print and distribute books. So what did he call this service? Brihad Mridanga. Prabhupada took this to heart and he endeavored hard to get his books published in India. And not only was he publishing the books, he was also distributing the books. It was a one-man army, one man translating the books at the Radha Damodar temple, then taking a third-class compartment and traveling to Delhi, soliciting funds, getting the books printed, and then going out to distribute books. And when Prabhupada went to the West, Krishna sent him some nice disciples who helped him translate and print the book. Why did Prabhupada emphasize distribution? Devotees often ask, why? Preaching is mentioned as an activity that pleases the Lord in the Bhagavatam and in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavatam, Narada Muni says, Dayaya sarva bhuteshu santushayena kenava nirvinde pashantiya cha vishadeshu janardana. If you want to please the Lord, how many of you want to please the Lord in the audience? I can't see the whole audience, but I can assume that you all want to please the Lord. Narada Muni says, if you want to please the Lord, all you have to do is 3 activities. 1, Daya, be merciful. Be merciful to all living entities. Santushta, be satisfied with what is provided by the Lord. And Sarvendriyapa, control the mind and senses. So preaching is distributing real mercy. In the 3rd canto, you read about Pila Dev describing the qualities of a Vaishnava. And what did he say? Titikshva Karunikaha. A devotee is tolerant and very merciful, compassionate. The true compassion, true mercy is giving people this very important spiritual knowledge. Bhakti Ji used to say, if at all there's a shortage of anything, is this knowledge of love of God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling to South India, and he came and stayed in the house of a Brahmana called Ukurma. He was received very warmly. And in the same town, there was a devotee called Vasudeva Vipra. Vasudeva Vipra was a very compassionate devotee. He had insects, worms in his body. His body would release such bad smell. If he was on the left side of the road, people would cross over the right side. And he was so compassionate that any worm would fall down, he would lift it and put it back on his body. So he heard that Lord Chaitanya is in town, staying in the house of a Brahmana called Kurma. So he raced to get a darshan of the Lord. When he arrived over there, he discovered the Lord is gone. He was heartbroken. He couldn't get an audience with the Lord. But Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Lord, as we know. He could understand that his beloved devotee is very sad because he's not there. So he came back. And when he saw him, he embraced him. He embraced him, and all his disease was gone. He became a handsome young man, and he was concerned that he may become proud. He recited a verse that was chanted by Sudama Brahman when he went to see the Lord in Dwarka. When he came back to his residence, he saw his hut had become a palace. So Vasudeva Vipra chanted this verse from the 10th canto. And then he asked the Lord a question. He said, for your mercy, you have made me so handsome now. I'm afraid that I may become proud. Please tell me how I may be humble. The Lord said, chant Hare Krishna and preach the glories of Hare Krishna. And in this way, you will always be humble and meek. So Vasudeva Vipra took this to heart. And Prabhupada in the purport says, just like Vasudeva Vipra was saved, devotees of this Krishna conscious movement have been saved. So everyone should go house to house and preach the message of Lord Shri Krishna. This is Prabhupada's order. We were all engaged in a variety of sinful activities. And by the mercy of Prabhupada, we've got this very auspicious path of Krishna consciousness. How do we express our gratitude? We express our gratitude by taking part in the preaching activity. Preaching is not easy. Let's face it. There are many different types of services that we can do to please the Lord. And preaching is challenging and difficult. It's not that everyone you approach is going to say, oh, I was waiting for you for a few hours. Come on, tell me how many books you want me to order. Sometimes we do get some lucky ones. We say, okay, it's get a Jayanti time. Tell us how many books should we order. That's not so common. So Preaching is challenging. Because it is challenging, the Lord feels indebted to a preacher. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, of all the devotees who is dearmost to me, only preaches my glory. There'll never be one more dear than him. In the fifth canto, Lord Rishabdev gives a very nice example. He says, just like a gentleman, if he sees a blind man walking on the wrong side of the road, what does he do? What does a gentleman do when he sees someone walking on the wrong side of the road? He catches his hand and puts him on the right path. The Prabhupada gives explains the purport. That is what the Krishna conscious devotee should be doing. Our business is to put people on the right path. How do you do that? One alternative is we sit down with them and we give them the philosophy and then say bye-bye. But that's short term and they may hear our philosophy, but it won't have a deep impact. The other is you give them a book and encourage them to read the book. And Prabhupada said, these books are so powerful that if somebody reads even one paragraph, from one shloka from a book, his life can change. We have innumerable examples from around the world how people's lives change by reading these books. So these books are meant to guide society. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, great Acharya in our specific succession, he wrote a book on the life of Lord Chaitanya. He was a true visionary. He knew. He had full faith Lord Chaitanya's prediction to come true. He sent that book that he wrote on the life of Lord Chaitanya to universities around the world. And he was I call him the first international book distributor, Samketan devotee. But he had a vision that these books can be read all over the world. Prabhupada had that vision, therefore he translated the books. He translated the original Sanskrit to English. And from English, the books were further translated in almost every major language of the world. And today we see that in every corner of the globe, people are reading Prabhupada's books. Why? They're reading these books because it's giving them knowledge, transcendental knowledge. A few years ago, I was flying from New York to Moscow on an Aeroflot flight. Next to me was a Russian professor of philosophy from St. Petersburg University. As we were flying, we started talking, and I discovered that he was a professor of philosophy. And he himself said, I teach the Bhagavad Gita to my students in the philosophy class. This man had nothing to do with ISKCON. He didn't even know about ISKCON. So I just asked him, what is it in the Bhagavad Gita that inspires you to teach your students? In the Bhagavad Gita answers all questions and it has a very message of peace. He liked the philosophy. He volunteered to speak. He spoke on different aspects of the philosophy. So why are we reading these books? Because they contain knowledge. Pure knowledge which can guide entire humanity. Humanity, as we know, is very uncomfortable and the world is experiencing nothing but misery. If we want to bring peace on this planet, we have to give them the message of the Vedas, message of the Bhagavad Gita, and this will change people's lives. So Prabhupada encouraged us to distribute books. On numerous occasions he said, if you want to please me, what do we do? If you want to please Prabhupada, what do we do? Can't hear. We did Prabhupada said,
Distribute books.
Distributing the books.
Distribute books.
distribute books. distribute books.
Distribute book.
He said 3 times that famous letter. So Prabhupada encouraged book distribution. And in Vrindavan, in his last few months on the planet, even though he was physically weak, he could barely speak. He was whispering the translation and purport. He continued his preaching work. And over there he said, as long as book distribution goes on, I will never die. Why? But through these books, Prabhupada's Vani is being presented. So book distribution is something that is very dear to the Lord. So the Lord says, of all my devotees, one who preaches my glories is the best. It was very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya called Haridas Thakur Nityananda. He said, Haridas Nityananda, go house to house and tell people to what to do. Follow Krishna, Vaja Krishna, follow Krishna Krishna. Chant the names of the Lord, worship the Lord, and follow his instructions that are there in the book. So keeping Lord Chaitanya's order, Nityananda and Haridas proceeded, go house to house. And Lord Chaitanya said, come back in the evening and give me a report on how your preaching was. Even when Prabhupada was on the planet, when he would see the preachers in the evening, he would say, so what's the preaching report for today? And we said, as coarsely, some of the newsletter, this is more in accordance with what Lord Chaitanya told Nityananda and Haridas. So according to the accepting the Lord's order, Nityananda and Haridas went house to house. Some houses they went, they were very warmly received. Oh, you have a message for us? Yes, what is it? Oh, definitely. We definitely chant and worship Krishna. Some houses they went, people didn't open their doors. They said, when we came to take part in your Sankirtan process, you didn't let us come in. Lord Chaitanya, when he started his preaching, Sankirtan at Srivasa's house, not everyone was allowed. Some were allowed, only the very dear, close ones. The others were not allowed. So they were very angry. They didn't let us come in when we wanted to come in. Now, if you don't get out, we'll beat you. They were very rough. And some said, looks like these are the agents of thieves. And some said, they are mad, they're trying to make us mad. We see that Lord Chaitanya we see that Nityananda and Haridas were not received warmly by everyone. Some gave them a warm reception, and some insulted them and threatened to beat them. So similarly, when we go out preaching, it's not that everyone says, oh, tell us, 2020, how many Gita should be ordered? Some receive you warmly. Some are waiting for the Gita Jayanti anniversary to order books. But some say, no, you guys are crazy. There's such a big virus everywhere. They're not distributing books. Before we started the marathon, the worries were in anxiety. How are we going to go out? What's going to happen? There's this virus everywhere. And there was risk of getting infected. But we have some very dedicated devotees. One of them is a devotee called Madhusundar, who doesn't speak much English, but very enthusiastic about book distribution. So Madhusundar said, we will go on the streets and distribute books. And they had already had this virus and they had recovered. So the theory was that once you had this virus, you won't get it again for a few months. So Madhusundar said, we are protected. I said, how? We've already had it once, at least for 3 or 4 months we'll be okay. In the meantime, we'll finish our marathon. So, believe it or not, in a few days, all the devotees in Delhi agreed to go on Sankirtan, and nearly 70 of them are distributing 21 books. And so far, of course, the scores are not as good as last year. But so far, not a single devotee got affected by this virus. They're doing book distribution 1-to-1, just like in the old days. And by Krishna's grace, none of them has got affected. They're happy distributing books. So Prabhupada gave us this wonderful engagement, distributing books. And if we endeavor, Krishna helps us. Prabhupada said, you take one step towards Krishna, and Krishna take 10 steps towards you. So it's very nice to see devotees all over the world taking part in this very important activity. Sometimes people think, oh, times have changed and these books are not appreciated. These books will give us knowledge for the next 10,000 years. And we should have full faith. A, that everything we need to know is there in Prabhupada books. B, we will read these books. Even if they read one verse and digest the meaning, the spiritual life will begin. So there's a lot to speak, and there's some very stalwart preachers waiting in line to speak after me. I don't want to take up too much time. I want to thank Vaisheshika, Bhima, and others for putting so much effort in the book distribution. We should not think that book distribution is not relevant today. It is relevant today and will be for the next 10,000 years. And we should dedicate ourselves to book distribution. So right now, we're in the marathon. We've completed 1/3 of the marathon. There's still 20 days left. It all depends when you want to end the marathon. And if we endeavor, Krishna will help. So thank you very much for participating in this program. I want to thank Vaisheshika Prabhu, Bhima Prabhu, Sri Ram Prabhu, and all the devotees for working hard to make this, to make Sankirtan a very interesting activity for everyone. And Prabhupada has emphasized this activity. And if we sincerely try, Krishna will help. Hare Krishna. Sankirtan
Hare
Yagya ki.
Krishna.
Sankirtan Yagya ki.
Jai.
Okay.
His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki.
Yeah.
Jai. Maharaj, we would like to show you some maps just so you can look at them and see how we're doing all over the world. And we'd like you to put your glance upon it, if you would, and your blessings. This is what it looks like in the world right now. We have in pledges, our goal is at least 2 million Bhagavad Gitas worldwide. And so far we have pledges for 1,843,567. So we're inching towards the 2 million goal. Everything counts now. And this is a view of the whole world. And we can also show you India, what it's looking like there. It's shaping up, right, Maharaj?
Yes, but we may not be able to match last year's score.
Yeah, definitely not match. It'll be much bigger, I think, in my opinion.
I hope your words are true.
Well, if you said it from your lips to the Lord's ears, Maharaj, that's what makes this whole marathon happen, is whatever you say manifests.
You're just too kind.
No, I'm just telling the truth. And then I'll show you North America. North America is looking like right now.
Make sure this-
So as we get an idea, more and more devotees getting involved on the basis of a lot of devotees each doing a little bit, we can realize our great power in ISKCON all over the world. We have millions of members, and when everyone's involved, then we can rise to the occasion.
I think your heading, Live to Give is good. We live to give mercy to others. Right?
Jai.
And we have a very wonderful diagram in our temple in Delhi. It shows how book distribution is going on in every corner of the globe. I wish we could show that on the screen. We recently
Maharaj,
had, yeah,
please.
we recently had some devotees do Sankirtan on bicycles. And the Indian Express published a very nice article on them describing how they were traveling by cycle to distribute books. And they did how many books? They did a few hundred.
7,000.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's me.
If you give the time, try and show you this article that came in the Indian Express. Spiritually strong. Can you see anything?
Nahi.
I don't want to waste your time.
Maharaj, we also want to thank you very much for presiding over the Kurukshetra Yagya, which will be taking place on the 25th for World Gita Day, otherwise known as Gita Jayanti. For those who don't know, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj has given blessings and will be overseeing a Maha Fire Yagya at Kurukshetra on the 25th, which is Gita Jayanti. Here's the article.
We can send it to you by upload it. Can you see it? Show them the picture. You see these cycles in the back?
Jai.
So they went in Gurgaon, Delhi, so on cycle. They tried book distribution on foot, and they said, let's go on cycle. And it created quite a sensation. And the media covered it very nicely. Here they are cycling on the highway. Can you see them?
Yes.
And they did books. So now they want to expand the cycling, and they want to do full card book distribution also.
That's amazing. I think every devotee should have a book bag and a cycle.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Maharaj, also, I wanted to tell you that Ambarishi Maharaj is on this call. He's been, we have an arrangement behind the scenes. He's translating for all your, whatever you said into Russian. So there are many Russian devotees on here, and we welcome them. And we thank Ambarishi Maharaj for doing the translation simultaneously as you're speaking.
He has been doing book distribution in Russia for 30 years nonstop.
Haribo.
Please bless him.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I don't want to hold you up.
You are holding us up, Maharaj. You're the only thing holding us up. Thank you very much for keeping us afloat, and we will follow your words and dedicate our hearts and minds to giving, being merciful, being satisfied, controlling the mind and senses, and going on with book distribution for the next 10,000 years.
It's a nice
You're willing.
the money.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce one of my most dear friends and God brothers, His Holiness, His Grace Bhima Prabhu, His Holiness to me, Bhima Prabhu, who's a leader in book distribution, a world leader who's started a revolution after spending many years in America distributing books, imbibing the principles of book distribution given by Prabhupada. He brought it to India, and also has been successful for almost 50 years now in upholding the book distribution movement there. So thank you very much, Bhima Prabhu, for joining the call. It's a great pleasure to see you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hearing His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj speak and his deep realizations about book distribution, it made me kind of realize one thing. I wonder how many devotees out there have heard of Chippiwada. You know what Chippiwada is? Well, it's a place in Delhi where Srila Prabhupada was living. And he was living there because all the printing presses are near that area. So Brahmananda told me that actually the first canto of the Bhagavatam was not written in Radha Damodar temple. No. Prabhupada told him that he wrote the first canto of the Bhagavatam in Chippiwada. Why? Because at the same time, he was getting the books published in Chippiwada. And in those days, they were what they're called treadle presses. You know, they hand typeset with lead type, one line at a time, and then made a page, and then took out a proof, gave it to Srila Prabhupada, then he would correct it. They would make corrections, take out another proof, show it to him. And at the same time he was doing that in Chippiwada, he was also translating the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, just like the Goswamis, they were empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to excavate and to promote the places of Krishna's pastimes, find them out and expose them to the world. In the same way, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj was empowered by Srila Prabhupada to actually get this place where Srila Prabhupada lived in Chippiwada. It's a temple that he lived in. And it's now, you know, an ISKCON center. There's a beautiful, the deities that were there originally during Srila Prabhupada's visit so many years ago are still there. And now they're very opulently being taken care of. And Chippiwada actually means, in Hindi, it's a colloquial expression, Chippy, for Chapna. Chapna means the prince of, and Wada means the place. It means the place where the printing's going. So Srila Prabhupada not only left Vrindavan to go to America, but he left Vrindavan to live in Chippiwada also in Delhi. And if you ever been to Chandi Chowk, it's a lot different from Vrindavan. It's very crowded and very a passionate place. But Prabhupada lived there to get his books published so that we could read them and take advantage and the whole world could. And he also empowered Gopal Krishna Maharaj to get that very holy place where Prabhupada printed his first canto of the Bhagavatam, where Prabhupada wrote his first canto of the Bhagavatam. And now we can all go there whenever we're in Delhi as a place of pilgrimage and remember Srila Prabhupada's pastimes, and at the same time appreciate the empowerment of Gopal Krishna Maharaj by Srila Prabhupada to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. I just had that realization while he was speaking. And apart from that, it's really inspiring to just be part of the Sankirtan movement. It's really the only thing worth doing in life. And we've tried to do a lot of other things for happiness. It really hasn't brought us any happiness. But there's nothing compared to the happiness that one gets in trying to spread Lord Chaitanya's movement and trying to help other people come to Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada said the best way to do that is by giving them these transcendental literatures. We don't know what's going to happen to us from moment to moment. No one ever expected a lockdown, mask, not being able to go outside, people being afraid. We never expected that. And in life, you never know what's going to happen. Your health can be taken away at any moment. So one thing we never want to do is put off the important things in life for later. It's better to do them right now, because you never know what's going to happen. Jalatala, my wife, she had a leg infection, and she had to go into the hospital for 14 days and take intravenous antibiotics. Never thought that would happen, but there we were. So what you really need to do in life that you need to do right away. And the most important thing that I can think of is to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, to push forward Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan movement. Don't put it off. Don't say, well, when I get my this done or my that done, do it right now, in whatever capacity you can do it, because you never know what's going to happen. So the devotees of the Lord, they're always kind to everyone. They're merciful to everyone. The best way to be merciful to people is to give them one of Srila Prabhupada's books. That act itself, Srila Prabhupada describes, of them taking a book, giving a donation. It seems like an ordinary kind of transaction, but it's not. Srila Prabhupada said that once they've done that, their material life becomes mortally wounded. That means their material life is finished. It's over. They've done the thing that's going to finish their existence in the material world. We don't know how long it's going to take or when or exactly, but the time will come when they also will be doing something to spread Lord Chaitanya's movement. And it's so important to engage in the Sankirtan activity because, there are 4 sampradayas. They're all chanting the holy names of the Lord. They're hearing Bhagavatam. They're worshiping Tulsi. And these are all devotional service, the different angas of bhakti. And that will get them to the spiritual world. But there's different places in the spiritual world. We learn from Harinam Chintamani by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that there's Vaikuntha and then there's Krishna Loka. So Raghunath Das Goswami in his Manashiksha, he says, shun the idea of even going to Vaikuntha. But other sampradayas, they're working to go to Vaikuntha. So why is that? What's wrong with Vaikuntha? Well, of course, there's nothing wrong with Vaikuntha. But why are the devotees of Lord Chaitanya so insistent on making it to Krishna Loka? Because within Krishna Loka, there's 2 sections. And every devotee is simultaneously having pastimes with Krishna. And we know Krishna's pastimes from Krishna. They're tending the cows, they're in the forest. Krishna's interacting with all his devotees in that way. But simultaneously, the devotees are also interacting with Lord Chaitanya in Navadvip. They're doing kirtan. They're performing Harinam Sankirtan and having devotional ecstasy with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we perform the activities of devotional service, and that will definitely help to purify us, attract the mercy of the Lord. But by performing this activity of book distribution, we become attached to Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya becomes attached to his devotees. So it's like a special impetus to make it up to the spiritual world, yes, but especially to Krishna Loka, where Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. And getting out, distributing books can help propel us to that place where we really want to be, what we're really looking for, and what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yayatamam prapadyante tangustataiva vajamyaham. All of them as they surrender. So what is that surrender? Trying to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. He was insisting on distribute books, because he wanted us to develop that loving relationship with Lord Chaitanya so that we would certainly make it back to the most important place, Goloka. So that's the point I wanted to make. And Hare Krishna, I thank Vaisheshika Prabhu for keeping us inspired, keeping us on the right track, and headed towards the place we want to go, Goloka Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhima Prabhu. I'm only keeping on the right track by following you, Prabhu, as you know well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. That was a very deeply touching talk, and great to see you. Now we have Malini Devidasi who's the co-Sankirtan leader of ISKCON Silicon Valley. She's been on the cutting edge of the book distribution revolution for many years, and just recently has been one of the innovators who's helped to break through on alternative ways, innovative ways to distribute books during the pandemic on lockdown. So Malini, could you please say a few words for all the devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances, all Guru Prabhupada, and please accept my humble obeisances, dear Maharaj and all the assembled Vaishnavas. I just wanted to share a couple of things about what is working at ISV. We recently started doing a calling party, but we were calling small businesses. And small businesses means anything, real estate agents, lawyers. Yesterday we could call lawyers, tax consultants, and mortgage brokers. So last week, one of the devotee here, he got a call, and he called the mortgage consultant. And this person is from Afghanistan. And then he said that he would like to donate $2,000 for the Live to Give campaign. And he wanted some Bhagavad Gitas and books in Farsi because he wanted to send it to some of his clients who speak Farsi. So we have seen great success. And yesterday I called some of the lawyers, and one of the lawyers said, I think this is a really good cause. And he took one case of Bhagavad Gita. He's a lawyer from San Francisco. So we're trying this calling party, and we're calling anybody and everybody. And we're just planting the seeds, and people are coming back, and they're very enthusiastic to support this Live to Give campaign. And the second thing I wanted to mention was there are very few devotees who are wearing masks and taking all the precautions. They are going out. And recently they met Sergey. He was from Mexico, and he got one book in Mexico. And he read that book, and it was also Bhagavad Gita. And he was saying that I like Arjuna because he calls in Spanish, he's saying Arjuna, not Arjuna. And then he said that how he likes Arjuna because he's also in a similar situation. He's confused in his life. He doesn't know. And he really appreciates the instructions that Krishna gave to Arjuna. And he actually carved his own beads, and he was chanting, and somehow devotees met them here at Walmart. And later devotees went and gave him a Bhagavatam, and he was overwhelmed to receive the Bhagavatam. And yesterday, Sergey came and he joined the book distribution party, and he started distributing books to all the Spanish people in front of Walmart. So we are seeing that as His Grace Bhima Prabhu was mentioning, once you give a book, we do not know. And we are seeing this very inspiring stories across. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for allowing me to share a few.
Do you have your
Yes.
phone there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, just pretend I'm the new person, first time ever. Like you're just cold calling to some lawyer or real estate or whatever, and you call me. The devotees want to hear the specifics, so just give the thing. You call on your phone, just go through the motions, okay?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello.
Hare Krishna. I'm Malini Devidasi. I'm calling from ISKCON.
Who? ISKCON. Okay. I think Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. It's been very busy this time of year, but we're okay. We're still alive.
Oh, I actually, by profession, I'm a software engineer. I work for eBay, but I'm just doing my voluntary service for the ISKCON temple. Actually, let me tell you the reason why I'm calling you is because these days we found that a lot of people are stressed out because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
The social distancing, you cannot meet anybody. Then you have to stay at home, work from home, no social gatherings, and people are really stressed out. And what we found in our recent studies, that Bhagavad Gita is really helping them to cope up with their stress. Not
Hmm.
only that, but is actually helping them to develop a positive attitude in their life. Do you agree to this one?
I think that sounds great. I've heard of Bhagavad Gita before, and I'd always intended to read it, but that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's a book on yoga meditation that helps you relieve stress and anxiety.
Hmm.
And because of this, we actually came up with a campaign. This is a global campaign, not just in North America, but this is across the world, across the continents, where by the end of this year, by end of December, we want to distribute 2 million Bhagavad Gitas to everybody.
Wow. That's
I know
amazing.
it's a sorry. I know it's a lofty goal, but we can't do it by ourselves. So that's the reason I'm calling you to see if you would like to help and pitch in to distribute a few Bhagavad Gitas.
I would definitely like to help. How can I help? Do you want, money, or what are you asking for?
Look, actually, we are not doing this for money. Our main goal is to distribute 2 million Bhagavad Gitas. And we see that lawyers like you are actually helping us to distribute books to their clients. So, what we are doing is we are sending cases of Bhagavad Gita. One case of Bhagavad Gita is just 24 only, 24 Bhagavad Gitas only. And these Bhagavad Gitas are in a very small book, like this is the Bhagavad Gita, and you can put them in a pocket, and you can take it anywhere to read it. And not only that, what we're doing is we're giving you some stickers with your business name, and you can write any message on it. We can customize it for you, and on every Bhagavad Gita that you have, you can place a sticker. And each and every person you give a Bhagavad Gita to, they will remember you because they see your name on that book. And whatever spiritual benefit that they're getting from this book, you will also get benefit for each and every benefit of that.
How much are people giving?
So generally, as I said, we don't sell them, but generally people give about $108 for one case of Bhagavad Gita. But there are some people who are also giving $1,000. So there is no minimum. At the same time, there is no maximum. So do the best you can.
Well, that sounds great. And how do I pay you?
Oh, we have PayPal. We can take Zelle. You can also send in check if you like. Whatever is convenient for you. We have all sorts of payments. You can also do credit card.
Okay. I'd like to sponsor at least 2,000.
Yay, Haribol. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm glad you called.
Yeah, please send us your address, and then we will ship the books to you. And
Are
we'll
you going to
send
give
the
me an
stickers.
email or something like that, a text, so that I know where to send it?
Yeah, so I will text you on this phone. This is your number, right? And then you can send me the address, and then we'll ship them right away.
Okay. Thank you very much. You really made my day.
Thank you so much. I know you're so busy, but this time, whatever you gave for us, we really, really appreciate it.
This is
Thank
the
you so
Hare
much.
Krishna people, right?
Yes, we are the Hare Krishnas.
I like you, Hare Krishna people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There you have it. Some specifics. You can follow that. We'll transcribe this so you can look at it if you wish and just make the call and say what she says, and you'll do just fine by telephone. In fact, you'll become so used to it that you'll want to always use the telephone, even when we're back out full time on the streets. Thank you very much, Malini Devi Dasi, for all that you're doing for the global Sankirtan movement. And now we have the other co-Sankirtan leader from ISKCON of Silicon Valley, His Grace Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu, also known as SKP. Please, Prabhu, tell us some realizations and give the devotees some ideas to help them expand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think this is what we do, Prabhu. We had Malini Mataji and you spoke. It's really good. Couple of more things, Prabhu, to add on. When we are calling the people and when we say we are customizing on their business name, they're really liking that idea. As soon as we say that the name is coming on the each book and then they can customize. Yesterday, I called one realtor and I told him, okay, it's a free marketing for you. We are giving to a lot of Indians. you can sell more houses. And then I told one of my other realtor, they gave 10 cases of Bhagavad Gita. Then he said that, oh, wow, he gave 10 cases. Okay, let me give 5 cases. So he sponsored 5 cases. So when we have this, especially the realtors, they would like to, like now everybody is staying at home. They have like a goal to sell houses. And I told him we have goal to sell Bhagavad Gitas. Please, we help each other together. So that is going great. And also the tax consultants or lawyers, and especially targeting the doctors. They're very highly earned people, and only thing is they don't have time. So we are catching them in the morning and evening hours, texting and finding out as a good time, so you can deliver books to them. So one more realization, Prabhu. Recently, one person I think it's from New York. He met a jailer. She's a jailer in a jail. So and she contacted him that said, okay, you gave me Gita. Can you give to all our prisoners in the jail? I said, yes, we can adapt a jail. So we are as a ISKCON Silicon Valley or as a prison ministry. Each jailer get one. Each prisoner get a book, of Bhagavad Gita. So then we can adapt the jail, and so we are just waiting for her to get back to us. So that we can give many to the prisoners in the jail. So there is a lot of opportunities when we go on out on Sankirtan. And one person who called me yesterday, he just read Srila Prabhupada. He's from Nepal. He read Prabhupada Vani, and then he came to know about Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He called me and said, I have a cancer from past five years. I don't have job. Can you help us to distribute or can you give me Chaitanya Charitamrita or Bhagavatam? I said, okay, we'll definitely give you. If you give some money to us, it's Sukriti for you. Then I told him, yes, please come over. I can give. He said, I cannot drive the car. Can you come to Richmond? So somehow or other he managed to come middle way, and we gave him Hindi Bhagavatam set and one Chaitanya Charitamrita and one Bhagavad Gita case for him. So he took it, and then he donated $100. This is what best I can do, and I'll do $90 more for Chaitanya Charitamrita. So people are looking for the, like as you mentioned in a class, they are waiting at home for us to come and give Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you very much, Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu. And also mention that Radhadasi just reported in to me that with the Gita Project, they just sent 6,500 books to prisoners last week. And Hare Krishna, Radhadasi, way to go. We have now Sri Ram Prabhu, but it's not just Sri Ram Prabhu. If I'm not dreaming, I also see Radhesham Prabhu, who's graced our meeting today. I could say from the bottom of my heart, perhaps my favorite devotee on the planet. Thank you very much, Sri Ram Prabhu and Radhesham Prabhu for coming on the call. Please give us your blessings, your thoughts. Hare Krishna.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. So I am in Hyderabad now these days, going out for the Bhagavatam distribution, home to home, and some of them I am doing online now here. Actually, here our target is 1 lakh books for this marathon, and we have completed 45,000 till now. Another 55,000 has to get completed now. And Bhagavatams, after the Bhadra Purnima, now the next lot of Bhagavatams are going up now. And I have a set for Bhagavatam set, then go home to home. Otherwise, I do online. Sitting in the temple, I have like 3-hour meets for 10 Bhagavatam sets, where I get to know the family and inspire the children and family members to chant, as well as give a class for them. So it's working out very well now. Of course, the congregation devotees are helping me to connect with new people. And the congregation leaders are happy that I am inspiring people to start chanting and reading Bhagavatam. That's their inspiration. And they will cultivate further. I'm just giving a kind of initial start for them. And Sri Ram Prabhu here has come to a place called Attapur, where a new temple is going to emerge within 6 months to 1 year period. And here I was this evening doing a program for the donor of the temple, who is not only giving a land, he's also going to erect a 5-story building temple and bring the deities. He is himself a 1600 devotee, very committed devotee, donor. And I was stunned today. He has brought like 200 people today for a program, all well-to-do people. And we announced Tola Dan for giving Bhagavad Gita, as well as we told them about helping us to reach out this Bhagavad Gita to the villages. So many of them have come forward today. So for 750 Bhagavad Gitas have been now, and many more are now lining up now. Very nice program. And in Pune, our target was 4 lakh, and that is also going quite well. And I think Bhagavatam sets have crossed 1,000 sets now, 1,000 or 1,200. I think it has crossed. It's still going on, and I don't know the latest score, but overall, Prabhu, it is definitely encouraging. I see that Hyderabad is much more open compared to even Pune also. The COVID is not the problem is not as much as in Pune. Here things are more safer here, and it's a very great golden opportunity for us to have Sri Ram Prabhu here in Pune. He has one leg in Mangalore, and he is also here. Hyderabad here, and he is coming and inspiring both Pune temple and Hyderabad temple. He gave a seminar for all our devotees, and he gave a lot of ideas also, how they can tangibly, practically reach out. So very kind of you for this opportunity. I never knew about this meeting. Sri Ram Prabhu just brought me here, and he is actually locally inspiring a lot. Many devotees are getting many clues on how to reach out more and more. I think with Sri Ram Prabhu here, Hyderabad can, this year they're aiming at 1 lakh. In the coming years, they can even aim at 2 lakh, I think, because he is now personally available here. And this center is going to be fully financially supported by this donor here. So devotees have to just chant and dance. He will do everything. If they do 5 lakh, they will beat the first rank then. But here Hyderabad has 18 brahmacharis and about 500 congregation now. And but I see that every morning a lot of course of book distribution is being announced here. And these devotees are really, really enthusiastic. Every day they go out 3-4 hours for book distribution. Even on non-marathon times also, they've been going. Thank you for your blessing, Prabhu. Your wave that you have created, from San Jose is now, going all over the world, breaking all boundaries of nation, caste, creed, color, nationality, everything, and reaching to doors of so many people. I'm very thankful for your book, Our Family Business, because in Pune Temple, we take different sections of the book and we read and discuss on it also. And you've given a good balance of both taking in and giving out both. That's what we very deeply appreciate. It's not just one-sided distribution. You give equal weightage to sadhana and purity. We are extremely thankful to you. Thank you very much.
I just want to add a mercy of Radhesham Prabhu leadership in Hyderabad. Every single devotee participated in marathon. Not just a few brahmacharis doing marathon. Every congregation member has a target. Like Pune has 108 for every member. In Hyderabad, all the devotees are on the streets or calling or doing something for marathon. So it's all by inspiration of Radhesham Prabhu here. And this marathon, the special thing is all about that everyone knows that there is a big marathon going on and we are part of it. Thank you, Bruce.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Radhesham Prabhu and Sri Ram Prabhu, and having the great and wonderful surprise of having you present here today, Radhesham Prabhu, no less than Narada Muni, in my mind, appearing, and which I think bodes well, auspicious sign for our marathon this year. Thank you so much. We're deeply touched. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
And now we have coming from the UK, The UK is doing huge. Make no mistake about it. They're a world force. And we have Divyanand Prabhu here. He's the in charge for all congregational book distribution, but it doesn't stop there. He's working on innovations that go all over, not just the UK, but all over Europe. I also want to mention that Ambarishi Maharaj is translating simultaneously into Russian right now. It's such a warm feeling to have the Russians here. I've always said we need more Russians in the world. It would be a better place to live. So again, thank you, Ambarishi Maharaj, for keeping the vibration going, keeping us close to the Russians. Now we present to you a great emerging world leader, Divyanand Prabhu, who's coming live from the UK. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my obeisances to you and all my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas who are present here. Firstly, I want to thank other devotees all over the world who have joined to share some ideas, and some of the ideas coming through from all of you are very, very exemplary, and thank you for inspiring us. I'm also grateful to some of the leaders who managed to tune in from Europe or UK. We also have like Mukunda Hari Prabhu, who's really taken this service very nicely here in our congregation at Bhaktivedanta Manor, and few others are online as well. So from our side, a lot of the temples in UK are now out of lockdown, so they have started to go out on street Sankirtan at least. However, Manor being a very big place, a lot of our effort is mostly online, with some devotees able to go on to street. So one of our success following in the footsteps of ISKCON of Silicon Valley has been Shastradan and India team of Sri Ram Prabhu. We are also focusing on Shastradan, where we are getting 108 devotees to at least come forward and contact 10 of their friends and family. So a good momentum is being built up, where we are now nearly 75 devotees. And I think by the next 2 or 3 days, we should have 108 devotees, if not more, hopefully joining us. We have Hema Mataji also, who's tuned in into the session. Thank you, Hema Mataji. And then, so this campaign is really doing well, because each of these devotees who are joining are talking to the other devotees saying, let's get involved, let's give Bhagavad Gita, let's tell others about Bhagavad Gita. And all the books which are being then sponsored through Shastradan, they have been then placed by Radha Dasi Mataji through the Gita project, and Nitin Prabhu and few other devotees who are helping her. Every year they've been placing nearly 20,000 books, and this year we're going to reach a very important milestone where I can't remember the exact number, but it's going to be a huge number of books we'll be placing, working with both ISKCON London and Bhaktivedanta Manor and few other temples as well in UK. So that is coming out very, very, very nicely. So we are very grateful to have a very organized project where each book is labeled very nicely, so that people have an opportunity to contact us, and they can also then write to us, and there is a relationship being built among many of such places where this project is placing the book. So that's always helpful. We then have the kids who again are having tested at the laboratory of ISV. The children here are doing some presentations. Anukul Seva Prabhu, could you just allow me to share the screen, because I want to play a 20-second video of the children just showing what the children are doing, same as ISV. Thank you so much. So this is a short video clip of the children who are presenting Bhagavad Gita to many, many people across UK, and sometimes even 30 people at a time tuning into these presentations and really being mesmerized and so impressed, not only by the children, but just this whole project of giving Bhagavad Gita. So we've been working very closely with the team at ISV. Having learned this presentation, we are trying it here in UK.
Knowledge in India, and summarizes it into 700 verses. The Bhagavad Gita is a conversation spoken by Lord Krishna to his friend Arjuna in the Battle of Kurukshetra. How is this still relevant to us, you may ask? While we may not be in a literal battle, we are certainly faced with our own inner battles, which force us to re-examine everything we know about ourselves, and we find ourselves becoming spiritual seekers.
So that was just a snapshot. This is something working very well, because when the children are presenting to 20 or 30 people, if not at least 70% of the people are coming forward, either for sponsoring books or saying, can you please train my children in the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita so they can help distribute it further, which is the real plus for us actually, and something which we are thoroughly enjoying to be part of in this effort of Live to Give. We also have a wonderful opportunity of, we launched something called as a well-being package, which we are getting quite a good reception. Many orders have started to come in. And the well-being package is being distributed through our beautiful contemporary website called Idea Seeds. And the Idea Seeds idea comes from our family business book, where His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu talks about that how these books are like containers which contain idea seeds. And when they go out in the society, they create carnage, they give people new light and ideas to start their journey. So hence our logo or our vision is a life-changing journey through ancient wisdom. Become the person you want to be. So within that, we have this beautiful well-being package, which is being designed keeping the spiritual, physical, and the mental well-being of the people, really helping them to take to the, not just the books, we sent 4 books of Prabhupada, a mantra meditation guide, an audio book of Bhagavad Gita. We are also sending a 3-hour free course, which they can join after having taken the package. And we are now trying to present it to some of the corporate world and especially the Western audience, because this is really, they're able to resonate with it very well. And we are working with Krishna Wisdom School of Bhakti at Manor to provide this platform and a course for them actually. And finally, smart boxes. We've been again working with Niket Prabhu and Radha Dasi Mataji, who've been supplying us smart boxes. And we are reaching out to the beauty parlors, any shops which are open right now, and restaurants, and using those boxes to distribute Prabhupada books, especially the Gita right now. And our biggest event, which we are really looking forward to here at in UK at Bhaktivedanta Manor, is we are hoping and praying to invite 10,000 people to recite Bhagavad Gita online on that day. And then we will also be requesting them to sponsor as they recite the Gita. There will be breaks. There is some good programs being planned for 6 hours. Sutapa Prabhu will be leading us into that recitation. And we have invited members of parliament, Rishi Sunak, and all sorts of celebrities to that event to really make the most powerful event in the history of Europe, actually, and trying to work with other places together. So that's something we are really excited, because we think that day will make a big impact for us, not just to be able to distribute, even for 10,000 people to come together and recite Bhagavad Gita in itself will be so nice, actually. So those were some updates from Europe. Many temples are doing many exciting things. We are also preparing for the World Initiative, working with our central team to present something on 25th as a global program from all sides. And every weekend, we also have some special speakers, like we had a good fortune of Radheshyam Prabhu to come last weekend. Last weekend, we have His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami from south of India, from Coimbatore, who spoke about the power of Srila Prabhupada books. So like this, every weekend, there is a nice hearing and chanting session going on to help the community to feel that joy and pleasure of, living to give, and then also hearing and chanting together. So those were some updates from Europe side. Maharaj, back to you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
So what kind of a presentation are you planning for the World Gita Day, which is December 25th, during which there'll be a worldwide Zoom presentation from spanning the world, moving from one continent to the next. Can you just give us a 30-second description of what you're planning there?
Sure, Maharaj. So Maharaj, we will have a presentation of at least 3 different countries from Europe, including UK. They are working on a Gita theme videos of what the community has been doing. So we will be doing showing the videos to the audience. And here in UK, Bhaktivedanta Manor players, which are the world famous players, are putting together a wonderful drama a weekend before, which we are planning to record in a very professional setting, which will be played for the pleasure of all the devotees all over the world who will be watching that drama based on Bhagavad Gita. And then there is a kids element as well, which we are working on. So these are 3 or 4 things currently being planned at the moment, Maharaj, from our side.
Thank you very much. Everyone from every continent, please plan to make a presentation for World Gita Day. It may be grand, it may be simple, it'll be sweet no matter what you do. We'd like to have everyone feel together on this day. And also it gives a really good time for you to distribute Bhagavad Gitas. As Divyanam Prabhu was saying, they will have 10,000 people at one time joining for their broadcast for World Gita Day, otherwise known as Gita Jayanti. And during that time, can you imagine how many Bhagavad Gitas they'll distribute? So please remember that, plan for it now, because it's only a couple of weeks away, if even that. Yeah, a couple of weeks away. Also, we're inching towards our goal. Devotees, we have the possibility of hitting the goal of 2 million Bhagavad Gitas, and we're inching towards it. So every book counts. Every new person you can recruit to be part of the marathon is valuable. We win by everyone participating all over the world. So please keep the goal in mind and what it'll make of us to achieve that goal, a world victory for ISKCON. And we have help available. All of the things that are being said here today are recorded. We will pass them on to you so you can translate them into different languages. We have videos, we have resources, everything you need to pass on to your congregation. So please contact us. The URLs are in the chat box. There's worldgitaday.com. We also have from Divyanam in the UK, ideaseeds.org. And we have a Facebook. All of it you can see online there. We thank everybody for participating this morning. There's just a few days left until the 25th. The marathon goes till the 7th, but take advantage while the pressure is still in the pressure cooker that day, that big World Gita Day. After that, we'll still have time, but this is the best time to act. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu, for joining. Thank you very much. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Radhesham Prabhu, Sri Ram Prabhu, Malini Devi Dasi, Sri Krishna Purushottam, Divyanam Prabhu, and thank you for Shah Mohini and Anukul Seva behind the scenes, making this whole thing work. Am I forgetting anybody? Oh yes, next week we have another Super Sunday coming up. We are proud to announce that His Holiness Radhanath Swami will be giving a talk next Sunday, and also somehow or other we were able to get Vishakha Devi Dasi, the head of the Bhaktivedanta Manor, and she's going to come on and speak. A powerful speaker. We saw a little bit of it in the video that came out of the UK. Amazing. So please tell everybody, plan to join if you can, and listen in. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you so desire, please empower our global team of book distributors to smash the goal of at least 2 million Bhagavad Gitas distributed for this year's marathon. Please empower us to increase the Sankirtan movement in ways that will please you and bring mercy to everybody on the planet. Thank you for considering our request. Everyone who agrees with this prayer in part or in whole, please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Bhagavati Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Too big. Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.